Here we are, and this video would be the first part series where I would be uploading mini project related tutorials, so stay tuned. So guys and girls, hope you all had a great month. Unfortunately for me, my results were declared, and I can just say that there are ups and downs, success and failures in life we come across. We need to tackle them all, not run away. Just as I said, marks does not always decide your fate. So here, we are going to create our first desktop application using Java Swing to create its GUI, and later we would connect it with the database to create our login form, which would be connected to the later part of the entire whole system. So keeping this huge intro BS aside, I Maiden Kill hope to enlighten you guys and girls in this tutorial, so get a pen pencil books ready and let's hit it after this intro. So here we are guys and girls, and first we will open our NetBeans. As soon as your NetBeans is open, click on File, New Project, then Java application, and then click Next. Java project name, we will name our project as Project 1. Leave everything as default. Click Finish. As soon as you have done that, your project1.java file is created inside project1 package. Actually, we don't need this, so we will create a new Java class file. Sorry, and we will name it as login, L capital OGIN, login. Click Finish. So your login class would be created. Now what we need to do is we would delete this project1 file, delete, safely delete, refactor, and boom, done. So guys, guys and girls, what we are going to do here is we are going to create a login desktop application using Swing technology. So before doing that, we need to compulsory import some important packages here. First we'll start with the AWT package. For that we'll type import java.awt followed by asterisk, then termination sign. This will include some of the components which are still used in Swing, and while doing Swing event handling, we will use those events from this package, AWT package. Then finally we would import our Swing package, that is javax.swing.asterisk followed by termination sign. As soon as you have done this, your packages have been included related to Swing, creation of Swing GUI program. So now as soon as you have done that, we'll have to inherit the Swing class properties. So to extend, we will use JFrame, and to do that we'll type extends JFrame. And now we will create our login class constructor. For that we'll type access specifier as public. A constructor does not have a return type, so no return type, followed by a class name, parenthesis open, parenthesis closed, inside our inside our braces bracket. Then we'll create our main method, public static void main. Inside the parenthesis our string and its arguments of array. Then we'll encapsulate it in braces bracket. So now as soon as you have imported your packages, you have created your constructor, your class constructor, and finally when you create your main method, you are ready to go. We just need to add some declare some components and instantiate it inside the constructor, and boom, it's done. So guys, this is not a drag and drop tutorial, this is pure code. So guys and girls, let's begin. So first, I would like to include our JButton component. So be it JButton it is, and JButton, and I'll name it, I'll create two objects of JButton, which is a class inside the Swing package. B1 it is and B2, followed by our termination sign. Then we'll create a text field, which is J capital T capital text F capital EILD text field, and I will name it TN. That will be for text name or something like that. So I have got an error, FEIJ text field. What is the error here, guys? What is the error? Alright. Text FE. Done. Silly mistake. Then we'll create our password. J password FIELD. We'll name the object as TP, text password. Then finally we'll create some labels. J capital L capital LABEL LBO. I will name this. I'll create the second object as LB1, followed by LB2, then finally LB3, then termination sign. Here we have declared our components, 4 components, and now before we instantiate this definitions, first we need to create our container and our layout in which these components would be put in. So for that, to do that, we will type container and its object as C. We'll create its objects as C, then equals to get content pane parenthesis open parenthesis closed. So this is the method where the container C object is assigned, and that object C dot set layout method where we would include our layout. In this program we would be using flow layout. So flow layout F capital LOW L capital layout. So here we have created our container content pane, and along with that we have created our layout. Now we can start instantiating our components objects. We start with JButton. So yes, B1 equals to new keyword for instantiating object, and new followed by JButton parenthesis open parenthesis closed. This will take one parameter as the name, the string what we have to type show on the button component. We'll type click over here. Then we'll create the second button, B2 new keyword followed by JButton constructor, and a string value will go in, and we'll type here cancel. Then finally, we have more three components to go. So text field, it is tn equals to new j text field. This will take an integer value. I will give 15. Then we'll create our password. tp equals to new j password field field. This also will take one integer parameter. For that I will give 15 as our size of the password field. Then we create our labels. We'll instantiate our label objects. So lb0 equals to new j label parenthesis open parenthesis closed. Even this would take one of the each parameters. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it 3 times. Reusability process, yeah. This will take one string type here in the parenthesis. So here I will type username, or maybe enter username, then enter password, and this would be a blank again. After you have instantiated all your components objects, we have to add those to our container. That the object we have created is C. So to do that, we would type C dot add method, and this would take one parameter which will be the object instantiated. So we would include b1, b2, tn, tp, lb0, lb1, lb2, lb3. And guys and girls, remember one thing: whenever you create a JFrame and you set the layout, you create the container, but even though if you don't use the method inside the JFrame which is set visible, if you don't do that, you won't be able to see your components. Everything would be blank. And second important method that we should use in JFrame in Swing programs, that is set default close operation. If you don't use this, you execute your program and the program will be still running in the background. So let's start. We'll use the first method, set title. For now we'll keep it blank. Then set location, which will take two integer parameters. Then set size, which will also take two integer parameter. Set resizable, which would take a boolean parameter. Then the main method that we have to use, that is set visible, which will also take one boolean parameter. And finally set default close operation. Inside we'll type jframe dot exit on close. Set visible would be true. Set resizable would be false. We'll keep it as false. And set size I would give 350 by 160, I guess. Let's see how it. Set location. My screen resolution is supposed to be 1600 by 900, so I would set the location to 600 by 300. Here I should type something like login system. Alright, and here we would create our class object login obj as its object, instantiate by new keyword login, parenthesis open, parenthesis closed, and done. So yeah, so after doing that, after creating our constructors object in the main method, we should actually try to run our program, execute our program, and see how the output looks. So so guys, you know the reason why the components are presented this way, because we have used flow layout, and when adding those component it will add the way you have added those components. So I have added b1 b2, then b1 b2, those button components are placed first. After that tn, the I guess this would be the no, this is the text name, this would be the password field, this is the label 1, label 2. So we would have to change the alignment of this components. For that, first we will add the label 0 here, followed by our lb1, followed by tn, good. After that lb2, that is enter password, then we will have tp, then lb3. After that we would have b1 followed by b2. Let's run a program. So there it is, guys. So this is our login GUI that I have created. Currently it's just a simple layout. Later on, without using the help of drag and drop, we can create some GUI interface like this one. For example, I'll show you something like this, and no drag and drop method were used in creation of this GUI login screen. So later on we might do some interesting designing, so stay tuned. So now we have two things to do. One is event handling, second is our database connectivity. So first we'll do the database connectivity. What we need to do is we need to download a connector, that JDBC connector that will enable a Java program to connect with the any database. So for that we need to download our MySQL connector. So for that I'll go to Google, type MySQL connector, then I'll go to this first site. You'll find different types of connector. What we need here is this one, JDBC driver for MySQL connector. Click download. You should be directed to this page. As soon as you reach this page, click on platform independent, and if you're a Windows user, you'll have to download the zip file, and maybe if you're a Apple user, you might download this. So I'll download this. You'll come to this page and come down and say no thanks, just start my download. As soon as you have done that, your downloading should pretty much start, and yes, it is downloading. I'll cancel it because I already have it. So here it is. What I will do is I will extract this here. After doing that, main thing that is important is this MySQL connector Java 8.0.12. Copy it. Come to your directory where you have installed your Java JDK, program files, Java, JDK, lib. Inside this, paste that jar file, and then go back to the downloaded folder where you have extracted that file. Copy the file, come back to this JDK and paste it here. As soon as you have done that, maybe cut this or minimize this. I'll minimize it. Come to your NetBeans. You'll find this 3 tabs: project, files and services. Go to services tab. You will see database over here. So now if I extend this, I find this 2 types of database. One is MySQL server and the second one is Java DB. In this tutorial we'll be using MySQL server. So when I expand this, nothing actually comes out. So first what we need to do is start our database. And yes, now you will be able to see all the created databases inside MySQL server. So I'll go to the project tab and I'll click the library folders, and inside this I will include our connector. So the connector has been put in the libraries. Now we'll go back to the services tab, right click on MySQL server, we'll create a new database, and I will create our database with name DB. Okay, then here is our database. We'll expand the database, and if we expand table, we don't have any, so right click on tables, we'll create our table. We'll name our first table as login, then add column. One will be uname and its data type would be varchar. Size I would give 30 and leave everything okay. Add column upass, data type varchar, 60. Okay. So as you can see, inside your database login table has been created. We'll view this. So no records are there inside the table. So to insert your records, click on this symbol, insert record, and I'll type my first username as root, password root, and I'll add one more record. This I will name it as admin, then password as admin. Then last This would be Mark and the password will be 1234. Okay, and your records are inserted. We come back to our program. Now, before we start with the database connectivity, we need to know the 7-step processes. The 7-step processes are the first one is import package, second is define and loading the driver, third is establishment of the connection, fourth is creating statement, fifth is executing the query or the statement, and sixth is retrieving the result, and finally we have to close the connection. So in this program we will be using 5 of these steps. So let's begin. So we'll come back to the project tab, and either we can create a new Java class and do the database connectivity over there, and we can import that class over here and do it, or else we can just in this Java we can place that SQL code over here. We'll do that, but before doing that we'll follow the step 1 of creating and database connectivity. So we'll import two packages here. One will be the Swing package. Import javax dot swing dot j option pane dot asterisk followed by termination sign. Later on you'll come to know why I have used this Swing package again, and then finally our SQL package, that is java dot sql dot asterisk. Done. So we come here and we'll create a class named connectivity, and we'll give the access specifier as public class connectivity, and we'll declare some objects here of our class in the SQL package. So first will be the connection with its connection object name as con, followed by prepared statement, I will name the object as PST. Then we have our result set, that result set is capital. I will name it as RS. After doing that, we will create our connectivity classes constructor. For that, we will type public as an access specifier, no return types, directly our class name, then parenthesis open, parenthesis closed, and encapsulated within our braces. So inside this, guys and girls, what we need to do is the methods and the objects that will be instantiating inside this constructor always do throw some exceptions. This method inside this package, SQL package, always defaultly throw some errors, exceptions. For that we need to try catch, we have to use the try catch method. So try, we have to type try then catch, catch. So as you have done that, we will first define, the second step will actually define and load the driver. For that, what we need to do is we will type class dot, there is a method named for name, inside the method we'll type our driver's name, that is com dot mysql dot jdbc dot drivers. So what I'll do is, now after doing that, I will establish connection. In our case, there are two types of connection in JDBC, that is DSN based and one is DSN less. Here we are using DSN less, where Java program is directly connected to the database. So we had created the connection object as con, so we'll assign it to con equals assign to drivers manager dot get connection method. So here we need our database driver location path. To get that, we would come to our program here and we'll come here and we'll copy this. We'll paste it here. After doing that, uh, comma, here I'll give my username as root and password would be empty. We didn't give any password during the MySQL during connection with the database. After that, we will create a statement that would be prepare statement, which object is pst, assigning to our object con dot prepared statement, and here we would type our SQL statement that would be select star from login. The table name is login, where uname equals to question mark and upass equals to question mark. Alright, then we come into the catch method and exception e. We leave this. We'll check why we are having this error over here. Alright guys, alright. So yeah, then after doing that, we need to create a method which would be public as an access file. Its return type would be boolean. In then our lg, no, I'll keep it as lg. That would take two parameters of string a name and string a pass, encapsulate within braces brackets. So now inside this also we'll have to use the try catch method. Inside try we'll type pst, that is prepared statement object dot set string. It will take two parameters. One will be first and this will be a name Then the second row would be a pass. Okay, when you enter the username password in that text field, this method will capture it. Then we have to execute our query. So rs, I guess, where I the result set, yes, rs assigned to prepare statement object pht dot execute query, yes. And here then we have our if statement, and so here will rs dot next. This will check the rows in the database, in the table, to find the records. Then j option pane dot show message dialog. This would take two parameter, I guess. First one would be null and second one would be a string where I'll type entered return true. After that there will be an else statement where I would type return false, and here exception, its object as e will system dot out dot println, and we'll type a message like as an error, while validating, yes. And then our object exception. Here our SQL file, the connection, retrieve, loading drivers, executing query has been done. Now the final thing is the event handling. So let's go to the event handling. So before doing that we need to include its package. So before including that package, let me tell you, this package would be understandable when I show you the result, I mean the output. So now before showing you that, I'll import the package, that is java.awt.event followed by asterisk, then termination sign. Now we would be able to do our event handling. So let's see guys, and we will do the events on the two buttons B1 and B2. So after you have added your components to the container, we would start our event handling. So B1 dot will change it to login. So B1 dot add action listener, we would be using the action listener, and the methods that have to be overridden here, I would directly do it inside the parenthesis. So I will create a new action listener using the new keyword. So now we will use its method inside the action listener, which is public void action performed P capital. All right. So inside the parenthesis we would have to type the event. Here there would be an action event. and its object as AE. So now inside this we would use the try catch because it gives the default exceptions. Here we are. Then we'll type this string name equals to tn, that is our text name, dot get text method. It will store that text string nm. I will name it nm equals to string dot copy value of, yes, then what is the name dot to character array. All right. Now we'll go for the password. String, we'll name it a pwd equals to string dot copy value of, I will pass, you pass it is so let's see why. Alright, I haven't created this. Yeah, before this I had to do this. Character of array, you pass as its identifier because we have passed that here down, and tp, that is text password, dot get password. Done. Then we'll have some of our if statements. In this we would take the action event object AE and we will check whether it is on which source it is getting clicked. So in our case it is the button B1. So AE dot get source equals to should be B1. If it is B1, then the system has to do this. So if it is B1, then we have a first condition, that is tn dot get text method, alright, dot is empty, and tp dot get password to dot, yeah, length length is equal to 0. So if the user has not typed anything in the text field and in the password field, he or she should get this message, that is j option pane dot show message dialog. Yes, this will take some parameters. First it will take as null. Second, we'll type our message, username and password not entered, followed by warning, followed by last parameter, that is j option pane dot warning message. Cool. Now we create an else if statement, and this would be a nested else if statement, I guess. And then the second condition would be tn dot get text dot is empty. Then I will copy this, paste it here, and here I would username not entered. After this is done, I'll copy the else if statement, I'll paste it here, and then this would be tp, and yeah, sorry, tp dot get password, yes, dot length equals to 0. So password not entered. Alright, then again else if statement. Inside this, did we create our... No. So first we have to do that. We have to create this. We have to define that classes object here, that will be cn. Here inside this constructor I will instantiate that connectivity object, that would be cn equals to new connectivity, and then so here we'll type cn dot lg, which was our method, boolean method that we had created. So in this we will pass nm and pwd, which we created above this one. Again we'll encapsulate this and we'll type this message again, copy paste. Here we'll type correct. Here we'll type logged in. Here instead of warning message we'll type dot information message. As soon as this statement runs, we will use a method which is dispose, and yes, which will close our login GUI. Else incorrect username and password. Failed. Instead of warning message I would like to give an pop-up and error message, right? Here I will type exception e. So alright, no. Here it is, guys and girls. Our event handling is done. Now we'll check whether our program is running successfully or not. Here it is, and we'll use the second admin. So first we'll keep it blank, username and password not enter. So guys, the reason why I have used this package inside Swing J option pane is it pops up this type of messages with symbols and all that. So in our case, there was this warning sign and warning. So here warning, username not entered, and warning message, I have this sign here. Alright, then I'll type a password, but I won't type the username. So username not entered. Now in this case we'll type a username and won't type a password. Password not enter. Alright, now I will type admin and a wrong password, 1234. Let's see. Incorrect username password, which is showing an error symbol here, failed. Alright, we'll do is the event on button b2. So b2 dot add action listener. Here we'll create new action listener, and now public action performed, and inside this parenthesis we'll type action event and its object AE, and we'll pass here our text name dot tn dot set text, and here we'll pass double inverted comma for blank space, then tp dot set text, then double inverted comma. Alright, let's run our program. Alright, so finally we'll try to put in our real username and password, that would be admin and admin. Let's click on login. So let's check what is the error. Root admin. Alright, so I cut this, I will execute again. Root, alright, root, incorrect username and password. Here null pointer exception. I don't think there is any null pointer exception here, but class name for M was capital, Java is case sensitive. I don't know why, but let's see if our output is correct. Alright, root and root it is. Login, entered, correct username and password, and dispose off. So that was all, guys. We created our first desktop application, which was a login form, and in the later video we would join this login system to the entire whole system. That was all, guys and girls. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial video, and like always, take care, stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll be back with another interesting tutorials. This is Made in Kill, and I am out.